Joining us now, Nesson football analyst Michael Lombardi. Michael, the first question is simple. How do the Patriots contain Lamar Jackson?
Well, it's going to be a team effort. You can't just do it with a so-called spy or somebody that you think can run him down, because he's faster than most everybody you have on defense. So you've got to coordinate yourself perfectly. You've got to rush him the right way. Your defensive line has to be able to keep him in the pocket and keep him in front of him. So it's going to be a total defensive effort, and he's going to get away a few times, but it's not going to be when you absolutely have to have him. They know when they need to make a play, they're going to use his legs to make a play, and you've got to be well in tune to that, and you got to keep your eyes on him. If you're playing man-to-man coverage, the defensive line's got to come through and keep him in front.
The Patriots have Jarrett Stidham and Cody Kessler on their roster. Neither of those quarterbacks can do what Lamar Jackson does. With that said, how do you prepare? How does a scout team quarterback simulate what Lamar Jackson brings to the table?
Well, I'm sure they probably, whether it's Jonathan Jones or some one of those guys that are really fast in their defensive backfield, I'm sure they're taking some reps at quarterback, because that's the only way you can simulate it. You take because he's going to run the ball, right? It doesn't have to be a quarterback. It has to be somebody who's really fast and explosive, and you got to have to get used to practicing against it. And I think if you make the mistake that Seattle did and try to play man behind it, or lose sight of the quarterback, or think one guy can spy him, then all of a sudden those 3rd and 10s, he converts. You know, you've got to make him beat you from the pocket. His legs are what drives their offensive machine, and you've got to be able to be in the right defense against what they're going to call offensively, and you can do that. You really can.
Interesting comments from Ravens tight end Nick Boyle, and I'll read you the quote regarding the Patriots defense. We'll see how good they are once we play them. I didn't think they've seen anyone like our offense or Lamar. They're a good team, and we'll need to bring our A game. Now, Jarvis Landry had some words about the Patriots, saying they were going to go into Foxborough and win that game. Week before that, it was Sam Darnold with a little bit of bulletin board material as well. If you're a head coach in the league and you're facing the Patriots, why don't you just say to your guys, don't give them anything?
Yeah, especially Nick Boyle. Like, who is Nick Boyle? Like, seriously, come on now. You know, I mean, it's one thing, now, look, I will agree with Mr. Boyle that they haven't played anybody like Lamar Jackson, because that's hard to do. You know, he's a unique player at quarterback. But I think when you've lost to Kansas City and the Cleveland Browns have walked into your stadium and dominated you, I think you're better off getting the win before you start talking. And I think that's going to be ultimately the message that has to be heard. And why would you go up and pet a tiger? Like, why would you rattle Tom Brady's cage? Why would you get the Patriots on a stir? Everybody knows this is the first game where they haven't been a double-digit favorite by the bookies. So everybody's aware it's going to be a good game. Everybody's aware that Baltimore has the capability to win the game. You don't need to say any more than that.
It goes all the way back to Freddie Mitchell going into the Super Bowl against the Eagles. They'll just never learn. The Ravens have the 3rd run defense in the National Football League, but they're 26th in pass defense. Is it too simplistic to say that we're going to see a lot of Tom Brady on Sunday night?
Well, they're going to have to prove they can cover. I think the two things when you look at them, they struggled to play run defense against the Cleveland Browns. I mean, really, that game, Nick Chubb dominated that second half of that game, and Baker Mayfield made throws in that game. Their secondary, now they've added Marcus Peters, so that gives them some help. They're going to bring all sorts of different blitzes from every different look, and they're going to try to rattle Tom. Tom's going to know where to throw the football. They can't cover the Patriots receiver. The problem's going to be is, can they hold up front? Do they get Shaq Mason back at right guard? Can Marshall Newhouse hold up at left tackle? The key is going to be protection, not getting open. Guys are going to get open, and they'll be able to run the ball, because one thing about the Ravens that you have to understand is they control the ball 36 minutes. So what Belichick must be able to do is shift that balance of time of possession. He doesn't want to play a 24-minute game on offense. He needs to play a 30-minute game, and you do that by pacing the game, which he will do.